Hello and welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and in this episode we are going to talk the Sailfish OS update which just came out, why it is so small and why are there no features in there and stuff like that. So we are just going to talk about why this process is happening, because there's another one in the EA channel already, which is the 5.1, and the 5.1 is going to be a pretty big update. And because of this pretty big update, we have to have a preparation update more or less before that, because in the EA channel, which is more or less a beta channel for Sailfish OS, there was a small little finding, let's call it small. It was a pretty big one, but we need to address it first before we are going with the real update, which probably will come out in 1 or 2 weeks, I'm not sure. I'm not from Yola myself, so don't misread my interpretations here. I am just interpreting what I see as you could do. Okay, in the end, what you already can see, we have a couple of different options here to update. For instance, you could be in the EA channel, you could be in the normal one, which is still at 5.0.0. I think it's 71 at the moment, not sure, or 76, maybe 76, I'm not sure. But in the end, there is the 78 update now, which we need to install, very importantly, that you should have before you are updating to the next version. Good thing is the EA channel is not available for people who didn't opt in for that, okay? So in the end, very important, don't opt in for stuff on your main driver, daily driver, whatever, that is in the beta version, okay? Very important. So let's talk about all this. So what different kinds of channels are there? There is one channel which is called, of course, the live channel, whatever the main channel, okay? The one that everybody gets over the air, which works hopefully the best for everybody because it's the most stable one in the end. Then there's this EA channel. EA channel is more or less like an open beta program, okay? So early access really means early access. It means there can be some kind of stuff going wrong. And at the moment with this update, for some people there has gone something wrong. And so the good thing is you are not going to be affected by this if you're not in the EA channel, because the EA channel catch that before you got it, okay? And just to tell you the whole story, or at least the whole story we know about, there is a CBeta channel that's called Community Beta or something like that. It's really only for very selected persons, but they are not in Jolla by itself, or not necessarily attached to Jolla, but they are more or less developers and stuff like that who are more or less invited to this channel and are very, very known personalities in general, which really go to the CBeta channel and work with that. That is more or less a closed beta, so only on invite in the end. The early access one, you could opt in to do that by yourself. If you go to your Yola account, you can select the Yola account. Very important, it's a whole account. You can't separate it by smartphones or whatever, which is a bummer. I would be in the EA channel probably if that would be possible, but since I'm using my Sailfish OS account for all of my smartphones, I'm not going to suffer through that with my daily driver, which of course is this smartphone. So I'm not going to go into any kind of beta testing with my daily driver. I wouldn't recommend that. Anyway, so why do we need this? Let's go over, and first off, what I of course want to do is I want to install this preparation update now with you live, more or less. It's pretty easy to do. You just go to your smartphone. As always, you can see everything that is going on my smartphone here on the big screen too. I'm just going to show you. There it is. A little bit of a lag, of course, but in the end, you should see everything I'm doing here. So first off, how do you get this update? It's an over-the-air update. It's OTA is a shortcut for that. And if we go to the site, you probably already got some kind of a notification like this one. So there is an update available for your smartphone. Tampella with the version number of the new update is shown there. If you don't see this, you can search for it by yourself. So just go out of this notification part go to your app drawer and go into the settings in the end. And if you're in the settings, then you can just scroll down a little bit, and there you will see this update for Sailfish OS, Aktualisierung für Sailfish OS in German. And if you click on that one, you should see the new update up there too. As you already can notice, or will notice, it's a very small one, because it's just in preparation update. You're not going any kind of big functionality changes or something. There is only one thing that is happening here. I'm going to talk about that later, why this is so small. So first off, make sure that you are in your Wi-Fi, for instance. It's much better to do that. I don't even think, I think you need to be in your Wi-Fi. I'm not sure at the moment, but it's a recommended way anyway, because in general, updates are big. This one is very small, but in general, updates are big. Okay, and below that, you can already see, hey, this update is only to make sure that Sailfish OS 5.1 can be installed on your smartphone, and that's very important. In general, it can be, so there's no technical limitation that will limit your smartphone from being there. So no new, I don't know, abandoned smartphones or whatever. You can update all of them, which are still supported at the moment. But very important, you need a lot of disk space. We are going to talk about that later. Okay, so first off, just go to the upper menu now and just click on download. As you can see, this is going to be your progress bar in the end. It's always a little bit funny because they just use the banner image here to show you how much already was downloaded. It's going to be very fast in general. Of course, we have to connect to the servers, authenticate ourselves and stuff like that, and so it will take a little bit longer than only downloading 2 MB or something, but in the end, after a very short while, you should get that. And after that, if it's done, hopefully soon, you will see that the bar here will go up, and in the end, it's just going to brighten up, okay? You see there's this kind of layer which is showing you there. And if the picture is fully bright or whatever, lightened up or whatever, then you have downloaded everything and it should be fine. Well, yeah, give it a sec. Yeah, and after a while, as you can see, we now have a fully lit up picture there, and that shows us, hey, the update is now ready to be installed. And because we just downloaded it, and now you just go to the upper menu again and you hit install, and that will of course shut the smartphone down once and update all the stuff. So just be aware of that. If you do that, you can't use your smartphone for a small amount of time. Okay, so let's talk about what this is all about, okay? So in the end, the new update 5.1 is a very, very big update. So we are going to have a lot of different things going on there. And the update itself will be very large in size too. And that means that you need a lot of disk space for your smartphone to run this update through. And there was a problem because in the end, there is a disk check from Yola, which is checking if you have enough to update more or less. And space, of course, if you have enough space to update. And that one works, but the problem is, while updating, the update will take more space than it had when it was downloaded and stuff like that. And there is the crux, because in the end, there are a lot of different smartphones out there, and different smartphones need different kinds of space to do this update, and it's even more, more complex, because it depends on what you already have installed. Not space-wise, meaning that, of course, if you have enough space, that would work, but if you update something, then it might be that they have to update repositories too, which are from your other software installed already, and that might cause a problem, because then it's even more space you need, okay? And that is more or less why this small update, the 5.0.0.78, was introduced, because that one will more or less look for probably fixed sizes, I'm not sure, but in the end for larger ones. And as you can already see in this post here they put out, for these kinds of smartphones, you approximately will need at least these kind of parts. If it's more, perfect. If not, yeah, you shouldn't do this update because it might break your phone, okay? Very important. Also important, this is early access channel, so the normal persons are not going to get this. We are talking about the volunteer open beta version here, okay? So if you download this and try to install it and it doesn't fit on your drive, or if you download it and the update process is stuck because while it's updating it hasn't got enough space available, then you might break your phone. That's very important. Be aware of that. Of course you can reflash it and stuff like that, but it might be that the phone itself is broken and you have to reinstall everything, which you don't want, okay? So most important, if you are in the early access channel and you are thinking about updating, first off, make sure that you have enough space available. Make sure that you have an update available. So I had this one tool, which for instance is a good version, but of course you can use more than that. Just to let you know, in between, my smartphone is now again up there. I'm just going to put in my credentials or my login here to make it run, and then you will see this on the screen. It will show you some kind of a progress bar. It's a very small one, so it's a very fast progress bar, and then it will install the Sailfish OS update, restart again. You will feel a vibration of your smartphone when that is done, and he's going to install the rest then. Anyway, back to this. Make really sure that you have these kind of space available for the older ones, the XA2 and the 10 series. Make sure you have at least 800 MBs. Then for the Xperia series 2, 3, 4 and 5, make sure you have at least 1.2 gigabytes, so a big update. And for the Yola C2 you even need about 100 MB more. So make very sure that you have that. If you are under these parts, don't update. Very important, okay? Just to let you know, this is not about any kind of media storage or whatever. So if you are, for instance, going to delete something like pictures or whatever, this is not going to be affected. We are talking about a mount on your smartphone, so more or less a partition on your smartphone, which is really the system one, okay? You can have a look at your smartphone. If my smartphone is up again, give me a sec. I can show you where you can look after that if you have enough space for that and stuff like that, because it's really a different partition we are talking about. It's not the internal space itself. That's fine. You probably have this free there, hopefully at least, and that should be no problem. But we are talking about the system partition, and that's a very different story, because that one is pretty small in general. Depending on when you installed your smartphone, it's increased sometimes with updates, and if you reinstall it or just install the smartphone at that point there, then you get a bigger partition for that. But if your smartphone was installed a while away or a while ago, then you really have to have a look at that, okay? So give me a sec. I am in here again, and let's see if I can show you what's going on here. I will have to refresh my browser for that once, and there we are. I'm just going to go to my settings app now and showing you where you have to look for these informations, okay? So go down, and if you go down here, you will see there is this, it's called Speicher in German, I think disk space or something. It should be in English, I'm not sure. If you click on that, you will get a couple of different informations about what is available and so on and so forth, okay? We are not talking about this. There's a lot of space up there and you don't have to think about anything there. We are talking about this one because there are only 3.7 gigabytes available for the system data stuff, and I only have 1.1 gigabytes free at the moment. So that might be a problem, and when I'm doing the update, when that is in the live channel then, in the normal channel, I might have to have a look at that. There are some kind of information on the forums how to do that. I'm going to link the post to that in the description box down below. But in the end, make very sure that this one is the one you really have there. As you can see, we have a couple of different informations about what is there. So in the end, Sailfish and other stuff is already taking up a lot of space there. from the small partition. There's other stuff available, for instance, Sailfish OS apps. So the native apps might be something you have to get rid of, or some of them at least, to install this in this case. But anyway, make sure that this one is at this level I talked about earlier. So let's go back. As you can see, these are the numbers you should see at this point, okay? Otherwise, you're going to have a big problem with the update. Okay, you have been warned, I would say. In the end, if you go down here, you can even see what's new there. There are a lot of different things in there. For instance, the Bluetooth one I already talked about in another episode before. It's now available for this new update, but you will have to have 5.1 to run it. So it's only available for you if you already have 5.1 running. Again, just because you hear something is very cool in the next update, you really shouldn't go to the EA channel just because you think, hey, I need to have that, whatever. Wait 1 week, it will more or less save you a lot of trouble if you are not that tech savvy or whatever. And so make sure that you are not going to go into the next beta version or whatever, just because you think this is so cool, I need it now. Many people are going to do it, I know that already, but still, you have been warned, okay? So there are a lot of different things in this release. So as you can see, many updated things. There are many things that will help you to run your smartphone in a better way, and it's a really great update. I think there are a couple of really interesting and cool features in there which I added, but very important again, don't rush it, okay? So make sure that you are just waiting that 1 week or 1 or 2 weeks again, if you're not tech savvy. And if you want to, if you are tech savvy, if you're a Linux user, which really is, I don't know, with several years of experience or whatever, then of course get it, try it out. It's good to have you there, because otherwise we don't find the problems before it comes to the main channel. And of course this one, for instance, was catched, which is a great thing. Okay, yeah, and if you really want to oh sorry, I left the thread there. So as you can see, very important again, he is talking about that here again. And it was so devastating for some people that they really got this update, which is going to check it in a better way, out in the same night. They more or less gave this update out. So yeah, I'm pretty excited how fast that was. Of course, it shouldn't have happened at the first time, but in the end, they really responded very fast for that, and hopefully people are going to get out. Here are a couple of different informations about the whole update process and stuff like that going on. I will link the thread in the description window down below, and you should be able to see it there. Yeah, and that's more or less all I wanted to show you in this episode. So it's a very small update, as mentioned before. I can of course show you what I'm doing here. And as you can see, now I already have installed the new version, 5.0.078. And at this point, you can already see that there. It's going to hopefully give you a lot of information there and help you to not run into this update trouble. And that is all this update is about. Everything else is unchanged. Other than that, I would say thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Have a look into this if you're really interested in it. And other than that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. If you liked this episode, give it a thumbs up, of course. If you didn't subscribe till now, do it now. If you have any kind of questions, comments, whatever, put them down below into the commentary section. And other than that, see you around, and bye.